published her book in 1981, but 10 years later, she decided to add a chapter. Chapter 17 is entitled Epilogue. It's been 10 years since the first edition of my book. Looking back over the past 50 years, there are some things I miss. Branding parties at the ranches, square dancing to the tunes of a foot-stomping old-time fiddler, children's Christmas plays in the two-room Dillon School, and the local rodeos. But mostly, I miss the many friends who have gone. I'm glad I've written about them. In a county with such a small population, we knew almost everyone. When I was county clerk in Breckenridge, there was not a single cafe in town. Of course, the Gold Pan Bar was there, but at that time only men were allowed, mostly the miners working in the area. Now, however, we no longer have to go over Loveland Pass to get to Idaho Springs for the doctor, dentist, hardware store, and other shopping. How well I remember those hair-raising trips over the pass in raging blizzards, taking 4-year-old Sonny with 102 temperature to the doctor, or Rolf with pneumonia. Many families in the area had difficulties in those days. Cully Culbreth told me in 1950, only 2 lunch buckets go out of Breckenridge these days. He meant the times were so hard, only 2 wage earners in town had jobs. Cully's mother-in-law, Mrs. Gertrude Engel, came to Summit County in the 1880s to teach school in Montezuma, 6 miles up the road from Ski Tip, which was then called the Elwood Stagecoach Stop. To get to Montezuma, she rode a smoky, narrow-gauge train for 9 hours from Denver to the old Dillon station. Then, in a horse-drawn wagon, she traveled several hours over a rocky dirt road, past the Keystone Freight Depot, and up to Montezuma. Never in her earlier days in Colorado did I dream that here at Keystone we would have concerts, fantastic skiing on groomed slopes, and easy access to Denver on I-70 through the Eisenhower Tunnel. We can now enjoy superb performances of the classics by talented young musicians of the National Repertory Orchestra in the large tent at the base of the Keystone ski area. For other concerts, we ride the gondola to the top of Keystone Mountain. During intermission, we stroll outdoors to watch the alpenglow on the mountaintops. Year-round resort activities include golf at the Keystone Ranch, tennis, bicycling, horseback riding, and rodeos at the Keystone Equestrian Center, which also features Saturday night square dancing. At the Keystone School of Continuing Education, located near the old Keystone Village Freight Depot, a variety of educational programs are offered. International meetings are held at the Handsome Conference Center. One of our favorite activities in winter is participating in the Masters ski competitions. It's great to still be winning downhill races. Off to Europe we go to join other racers from France, Great Britain, Canada, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Finland, Spain, and lately, racers from Japan. These 250 or more international racers are friendly but competitive group, ranging in age from 30 to 85. Many join us to race in the U.S. in places such as Sun Valley, Mammoth Mountain, Lake Placid, Winter Park, and in 1991 at Colorado's Beaver Creek. One year, the downhill race was held at Keystone's Arapahoe Basin. In 1983, we didn't race in Europe that year, only in the US. This was the year to travel to Michigan, where Max was inducted into the National Ski Hall of Fame. We still enjoy Old Ski Tip Ranch, which Keystone Corporation has purchased. Sitting in the Rathskeller, we enjoy sipping a glass of wine. Later, we watch beavers swimming in the small lake. I remember several years ago after a sauna, jumping in the pond and almost landing on one of those beavers. If I want to return to the quiet of those early days, I can, by heading up the road a few miles from our home into the high country of the old mining era. I will walk through fields of blue, red, and yellow wildflowers, columbines, Indian paintbrush, and a variety of others. Beyond the fields and up a gully, I climb to the gallows frame of an old mine, or find a trail to abandoned log cabins. Sheltered from the above timberline winds, I often sit in a cabin doorway, where all that remains are hand-hewn log walls and fallen roof timbers. I look across the valley where yellow mine dumps are still cling, and I think of those many miners whose dreams went bust. In winter, I cross-country ski up those very same valleys. Some skiers never quit. Even in summer, we pile in the Jeep filled with skis. Joined by enthusiastic friends, we drive up Chihuahua Gulch to the foot of the snowfield on 14,000-foot Grace Peak. Carrying our skis, we climb the snowfield, which takes all morning. The sun has softened the snow, making it feel like skiing on velvet. Our skis sing all the way to the bottom. Tired but satisfied, we scramble back down the rocky slope to the Jeep. Recently, after a day of skiing, while relaxing in front of our wood stove with mugs of hot apple cider, Max began reminiscing. Over 50 years ago, Edna, do you remember your first ski race? How could I forget it, Max? You told me how easy it was going to be. Well, it hasn't always been easy, but it has been downhill all the way. I hope you've enjoyed joining me in learning about the early days of Summit County through the eyes of Edna Strand Dercum.